defeat the evil with the power of friendship and this gun I found. This teacher, Miss Kawakami, if that's your real name. You're a bad teacher, Kawakami.
Open your textbooks.
We're going to be reading The Tale of the Bamboo Cutter. She is made for you. I'm deeply troubled by the implications of what you're saying there, Bit Shepherd. Are things going to get worse? Things are going to get worse, aren't they? Okay, I understand that you're talking about Akechi. Akechi is a high school student. You should not be talking about having the hots for a high school student. You are grown men. That's troubling. And that hat is almost as bad. Almost. Oh, they're kind of like platypuses. Tell me what that platypusy do. I'm sorry, Ah, cool. Fly them to the hospital. You don't have your flying license, though.
Okay, fly them to the hospital.
Way ahead of you, Bobert.
Don't call me Lauren Bobert.
Driver's shaken, but safe.
I didn't give someone a hand job at the musical Beetlejuice. I would never do that in public. Oh, this could be bad. We lost.
I need a smoke break.
Terrence was beheaded? They beheaded him for being a mascot? How bad do they hate furries in this universe? At the ninth bell toll, send 20 measures, 2 beats, smoke rock. I'm not gonna smoke rock. What are you, crazy? I don't do that anymore. Dang, look at that. Look at that figure she's got. Oh, I'm gonna skong! Oh!
May I venture to know the illustrious names of my heroes?
I'm Aegis. I'm your illustrious hero. I'm your lustrous hero. I'm your lusty hero. Hornet's just running. She has to pee. Don't have time to stop and fight. Gotta pee. Do spiders pee? What is the name of this genus? That's the red king crab. I remember we talked about that. Paralithides. Paralithides nuts! Humble yourself before the shells of those who gave their lives to hold our kingdoms. So this kingdom is literally built on the bones of innocent people. So kind of like America.
May I venture to know the illustrious names of my heroes?
I'm Aegis. I'm your illustrious hero. I'm your lustrous hero. I'm your lusty hero.
Okay, so I was worried about your unwashed hand, but now I'm worried that everyone here knows who I am.
Nah, brother. It's Kapu. Need to know basis, and Roy need to know.
Okay, good.
I don't want to come pick up your soup or fix them for the SDN.
Cool. You gonna wash before you do that?
Nah, bro. I never touch nothing. Just touch my pants and underwear only.
Oh, no.
Even for
Please wash your
straight, I
hands.
just do like this.
Please wash your hands, buddy. And don't show me that. Don't show me the humping motion.
Can you show me again? I don't think I got it.
Specifically, it targets the respiratory system. Your nose, your throat, your lungs. It gets all up in there. And it spreads very easily. It is a very, very fast spreading disease.
Off my.
It spreads
my
easily and
Xenoblade
quickly,
pictures. Oh,
just like your.
Isn't she so wonderful?
I'll
give you another microwave Mia. Ready?
Yeah. It's also called my life. Oh, I'm deeply troubled. Phantom thieves don't murder. But I'm not a phantom thief. I'm Mr. Aegis.
Welcome. You've got mail.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Come on in, find your seats. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. It is great to have you here with me today. My name is Mr. Aegis, and I will be your teacher for this session. And special thanks to Rita Kamashiro for bringing her class on a field trip to mine after that fantastic charity stream and all of that physical activity that she did for raising money for the National Alliance for Mental Illness. That was fantastic. I was so happy to be a part of it, to be able to help out again. Make sure to go check her out. Follow on YouTube and Twitch, of course, and check out the VOD if you were unable to make it for the live showing. Again, it was a fantastic event. I'm very happy to be there again, like I was a couple of years ago. But as you see there on my screen, my ferrets are doing okay. Yes, Ori had been a little bit sick, it seemed, for the last few days. She seems to be doing better. I do still have a vet appointment for her set tomorrow morning. I will make sure to get her checked out, and maybe it was just a regular flu or something. As we've learned in our lesson about ferrets, they can get regular respiratory ailments, you know, cough and cold and flu and stuff. But Alex Fanmaid, great to have you with us. Did see the end of her 10K run. That was great. Nothing cures reels like a good shower. That works in most situations, yes. Speaking of JRPGs, which was the theme of the charity stream, our first song happens to be in our background music, the Chrono Trigger theme. I really should get a whole bunch more great JRPG background music for our playlist. But today we're going to be talking about Cringe. We're going to be talking about canceling cringe. We're going to talk about sincerity. We're going to be talking about cynicism. We're going to be talking about being ourselves and helping other people be themselves. So I hope you're ready for that conversation. You bring your questions, and we'll get into that. Yeah, thank you very much for bringing your class to mine, Rita. We'll take good care of them. If you're not familiar with me, well, let's head into the main classroom so that we can get the show on the road, shall we? Hello, Riley. I really need to stop keeping the dodgeballs in the corner there, where all the students who sit in the back and abuse me with them. Anyway, there we are. Into the classroom. Oh, and we'll get the gold stars. That'll make everything feel better. Thank you, Pawnima. Thank you for the head pats. Loresno got on those immediately. But yes, indeed, my name is Mr. Aegis. I am a teacher in the real world. I teach health and physical education, and I give health and wellness lessons right here in our stream when I'm not playing games like Persona 5 and Honkai Star Rail. Today is Sunday, June 7th. That's right, it is 6/7. We'll be playing Cringe, or talking about Cringe and playing Persona 5. Same difference. Our announcements before we begin. Mind the class rules. Use your redeems at your leisure. It's okay. I'm used to being hit with things. Oh, like apples. Oh, here it comes. Oh, and the spitballs. That's the worst one, because now I have to dry my suit off. But make clips, as many as you like. Some people don't like when you make lots of clips of their channel. I guess I get it. It's a lot to sort through, but I like it. Ask as many questions as you like. Give feedback. As for subs and donations, I will never solicit that from you. If you want to support the channel, that's great. It means a lot to us. You can use your free Amazon Prime sub if you like. Other than that, though, all of our content is free. This is an educational project, but we do appreciate it when you support the channel. Basically, anything that comes in just goes to the ferrets anyway. Pick your stream avatar if you haven't already. It's on the bottom of your screen there if you're on Twitch. Your little pixelated character running around on the bottom there. We have all kinds of characters. I think I'm a ferret right now. We have Sonic. We have a Shadow. How about that? Is that working? Because I do need to sing at least one song at the end of this. I feel like that's going to be required. There we go. The noise came through. My beautiful noise. Wow, that's so weird. Streamlabs is really... I might have to switch back to OBS. I don't know. Anyway, it's fun facts. Today's fun fact. Yesterday, because normally we stream on Saturdays, but yesterday was International Tabletop Day. So our icebreaker question for you all is, what is your favorite board game? Your favorite tabletop activity? That will be your opening question. Favorite tabletop activity, favorite board game.
Welcome. You've got mail.
And thank you, Pawnima, for re-enrolling in our honor roll. We really appreciate that. I really like the game, the the Castles of Mad King Ludwig. It's a very complicated game, and it's one of those board games where you start taking it out of the box, and you're like, oh, excited to show your friends to play this board game, and they're like, can't we just play cards or something? Emma, you like Vampire the Masquerade. Alex, you like a game called Heart of Crown. Special deck building board game. Ah. Seki likes Clue or Cluedo. Good options, good choices. Can't go wrong with those. I like Backgammon. That's kind of an old school one, but I like that. Just enough of the luck of a dice game with strategy. And I would say D&D counts. D&D is definitely tabletop activity. While you continue thinking about that, the other fun fact for today is that it is National VCR Day. Yeah. Now, for many of you, you need to be told about this. A VCR, you see, was... A hype bus has been started. Thank you so much, Pawnima. Starting a hype train with our caramel dancing Toriel and Kara. Caramel dancing. That's great. But you see, a VCR class was an ancient piece of technology. You would put magnetic strips of tape inside a plastic disc or a plastic case, and you would stick it into a machine that would read this magnetically recorded data, and it would translate it into audio-visual information. Yeah. Very primitive, caveman type stuff. Caveman level stuff. That brings us to our next update, and that is our class behavior chart. For all of you who want to be on our chart, we allow you as the class to tell me where you think you belong lately. How your behavior has been. I put your name on a clip, and I put you wherever you think you belong. Rao, you said you had the complete at the time Disney VHS collection. Wow, that is something to miss. That would be valuable. You still have some, Riley. You still have some VHS. Wow. Well, if you're in the class, you can't be that old, Alex. I mean, that's how it works. Currently, the Angussies consist of just Bit Shepherd. Our Natashas / Noels / Angussies. Helpful, thoughtful, taking care of yourself if you feel like you're doing that lately. Where does that put you? I think you're at least in Beatrice territory. You're making it through. You're getting your work done. Yeah. With Arlan and Ralsei, for sure. Riley, you think you should be moved down? You're currently with Beatrice and Countess Lita and Pawnima and Loresno and Sasaju and Henry Bear and Rao. So Riley, move down. Riley, you think you should be going down to Greg category? Emma should be added to Angus. I think that's accurate. I think that's accurate enough, yes. Greg category is right below that, along with Hook and Susie, the slackers, the troublemakers, too cool for school. If that's you, then you belong with Caro and Ralsei Reich and Ren and Oofy and myself lately in Greg territory. And very last, and I guess technically least, is Mae Borowski, the trash mammal, down there with Sampo and Chris. If you feel like you're being a little too lazy and you should be nicer and maybe you need improvement, down there with Dr. Phil Erotica and Utopia Tree and Snowfox, then that's where you should go. We update this before and after each stream. Back in the day, this used to be done in schools, and the teacher would be the one to choose, and if your clip got moved down to red, you would be, sent to the principal's office, or you'd get a call sent to your parents. We don't do that anymore. It's too much stress on the kids. This is self-assessment now. You decide where you think you belong. But that brings us to our lesson. And we're going to get right into it. And I think it's pretty fitting that Deltarune music is playing right now. The Deltarune karaoke song is playing. Because we're going to be talking about cringe. We're going to be talking about sincerity, cynicism, and consequence. We'll be talking about what it is, why it happens, what it does to us, and, maybe what we should do about it. First and foremost, of course, what is cringe? What do you think people mean when they say that something is cringe? Yeah, and I like that meme. That's the "Whoa, plague be upon ye" meme. Empress say it's bad or cheap. Anima says everything nowadays is cringe. Rao suggests the grasping feeling of vicarious embarrassment which clenches my heart. That's very deep. Do you agree with society's general definition? If you could be the one to define it yourself, what would you define it as? Emma says the social control of embarrassment. Simply embarrassing. I would say that definition I agree with is that cringe is the feeling that something is socially unsafe to be seen doing, liking, feeling, or expressing, whether by you or someone else. The feeling that it's socially unsafe to be seen doing that thing, or expressing that feeling, or liking that thing. I think that's a pretty accurate definition. Very importantly, that it's something that happens automatically. It's a feeling that people get automatically. They don't consciously think about it. That's just how they feel. Is that a definition you think is more accurate? Adding in the social element. Oh, I got nutted. Well, I don't want to say that cringe or embarrassment is always a bad thing. Because sometimes this is actually useful. Because when we have an instinctive feeling of cringing at something we've done, it may be because we've crossed a boundary. Maybe we've crossed a line of something that isn't socially acceptable. Maybe we've misread a situation. That's possible. But oftentimes, this feeling is irrational. Because it makes being seen feel humiliating. It makes simply being seen and doing the things we enjoy feel like humiliation. And it can lead to controlling our choices and emotions. Controlling them not by our own desires, by what society will think. We want to find the right balance. And first we need to decide, what's the difference between cringe and embarrassment? Well, embarrassment is simply enough a message that tells you that you looked awkward or you feel awkward about something. And a healthy response to that is simply letting that feeling pass. Whereas cringe, the message that is sent to you is that being seen like this is socially unsafe, that it's not normal to be this way. One study said that it's the social pain, the interpersonal rejection or loss, that it activates some of the same components as physical pain symptoms. These are related to, but different from feelings of guilt or shame. Guilt is a similar feeling, but it's specifically about doing something that might have felt harmful. Whereas shame is related to these, but is the feeling that you're wrong or defective. We're talking more specifically about cringe. Cringe is more of a secondhand thing. Cringe is something that you feel when looking at someone else, or that you feel other people are feeling when they look at you. Cringe is something that you might think is a long-term issue, that a person is cringe, or that a thing is cringe, that it's a part of their personality, becomes their identity. For example, if you trip and fall in front of people, that's embarrassing. But that doesn't make you cringe. It generally doesn't make you cringe at someone else tripping and falling, and generally you don't cringe at the thought of tripping and falling. However, let's say you're this guy, and you've been caught on camera crying at a wrestling show because your favorite just won the title. That might be embarrassing, but also make people cringe. People made fun of this guy for a long time after this. But should he have felt cringy? Should he have cringed at this? Is this cringe-worthy behavior? Isn't the point of watching a wrestling show to get invested in the characters and the action? Because if it is, then it feels like this guy's actually doing it right. Maybe a little bit more than is necessary, but I don't think it's cringeworthy. Yeah, as you say, he was invested. It's all good. Maybe there is some other personality stuff going on. Maybe he's a bad person. I don't know, but I wouldn't cringe about this. But, I mean, maybe he stopped going to wrestling shows after this. Who knows? Maybe he felt this was embarrassing afterwards. Because as you said, Emma, people videotaped this and spammed it across the internet, and he became a meme. But cringe is a whole thing now. In fact, there's a whole genre called cringe comedy. The Office is considered cringe comedy. Curb Your Enthusiasm, Nathan For You, Arrested Development, even The Amazing World of Gumball, I think, could be called cringe comedy. Because it's about, in many ways, the secondhand embarrassment we feel about these characters' outrageous actions, their embarrassing behavior. Cringe comedy is a big segment of comedy right now. Nathan, for you, I've been told, is its own weird little universe. I'm not overly familiar with it, but It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia certainly matches the cringe comedy ideal. People are enjoying watching the embarrassment of other people, cringing at others. But there's a difference between cringe and cringy as well. Take a look at some of the activities here. Does anybody recognize this character? In the top left. Do you recognize Cold Steel the Hedgehog? Someone's edgy Sonic OC? Their OC Do Not Steal? Yeah. He looks pretty cool, right? I mean, he looks pretty cool to me. How about just below that? That old man dancing like he's got no cares in the world? Is he cringy? Maybe kinda. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, maybe a little bit. How about Archive of Our Own? How many of you read fanfics? How about making Mecha, Gundam, Gunpla? How many of you do that? Is getting really into that kind of fandom cringy? How about this amateur artwork that someone did of Barack and Michelle Obama? And they posted it on the internet and everyone ridiculed them for their bad art. We're going to a Ren Fair. If you've ever been to a Ren Fair, I have not. Maybe I have. I don't know. Maybe it's been a long time. Is being into LARP and Renaissance Fair stuff cringy? This guy's terrible cosplay on the far right there is Akuma cosplay. I mean, Empress, that is a definition that some people seem to have, that if people are just starting off at something, you know, you should make fun of them, which is kind of stupid if you ask me. Yeah, how many of you have engaged in these activities? Be honest. If you have. I have, you know, cosplayed once or twice. I don't think it's embarrassing. I've never really tried to draw. I have written fanfics. I have written fanfics, that's true. Ponima's read a few fanfics. I think there's at least one other person in here that's read a few, maybe written a few. But there are some, yeah, there's some metric tons being consumed by some of you in there, yeah. So that's a difference between cringe and cringy. What about some real cringe? What about some real cringe? Is this real cringe? Someone's, I don't know what year this must have been, their live journal or MySpace or Dead Journal or uJournal or whatever it was. This is just early MySpace. Is this cringe? Oh, this was 2008. There we go. There's the date on it. I mean, I learned CSS just so that I could make my MySpace. I mean, not like this, but something like that. Oh yeah, Emma. I mean, I'll probably get in trouble for things I say in these streams. How about this guy? Hold on. I missed something. I know what I need to do here. There we go. Because I need you all to see this. How many of you remember this ad? The Kendall Jenner Pepsi ad.
Nice to meet you, mucho gusto. Sweeter than a churro. She call me Papi Chulo. Yeah, I'm single, baby girl, but how about you though? Tryna make you my number one. Tryna make you my numero uno.
Where Kendall Jenner solves racism and the world's problems in a protest by dancing over to a cop and handing him a Pepsi. Universally panned, and I would think genuinely cringe. Genuinely crossing a social boundary of, this is terrible. Please don't do this. Incredibly tone deaf, yes. That was hard to watch when it first came out. It's hard to watch now. Let's put this cool pop music and have Kendall Jenner, of all people, solve the world's problems with a Pepsi. I don't think Pepsi made their money back on that investment. I would hope not. Or how about this? Is this cringy? The answer is yes. You can answer yes. This is definitely cringeworthy. You are not the meme lord. You are not the meme master. How about William Hung? Was this cringy? How about these celebrities doing this?
No hell below us.
Above us on the sky. Imagine all the people
Living for today.
Imagine there's no countries, yeah. It isn't hard to do.
Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too.
This made me cringe so hard. When all the celebrities during COVID lockdowns got together, oh, we'll sing John Lennon's Imagine.
You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
I cringed hard.
Someday you will join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possession.
I was deeply disturbed. Hello, Poison Mouse.
Sharing all the world, you. Did I say?
Oh my god, it just keeps going.
Not the only one.
How about Pokemon Go to the polls? Was that cringe?
And the world will be as one.
This guy was definitely cringe. This guy in this series of messages. Hey, beautiful, I noticed your pictures and you're gorgeous. May I perhaps ask you for sexual favors? Yes, the one on the left is the older brother, Moki. On my right. My left, your right, is Ori. This message always makes me cringe when I see this one. Where it gets not even a rejection, just doesn't get an answer from the person that he's propositioning and then immediately goes off and calls her all sorts of names. You always go after guys who will treat you like shit and not nice guys like me. Your blank is probably overused anyway, and F you and your ugly ass. So yeah, cringe does exist. Cringe is something that's real, and some people are cringe. And it is a boundary that people cross. Yeah, those nice guys, quote unquote, have some cringe issues. But for some reason, we've decided that everything that is embarrassing, or that everything that isn't within a narrow range of human experiences and expressions, is cringe. Where does this start? How did we get to this point? Now, I mean, obviously the internet has a big part in that, but it goes back earlier than that. We need to talk about cynicism and irony, because this is a generational shift, and one that's ongoing. I think it goes back to the 80s, and obviously you can go farther back than that, how each generation has led to this point, but let's start in the 80s, specifically with the fact that there were a great many economic struggles, there was a lot of tension, and there was a great deal of consumerism throughout the 80s. The cultural and aesthetic values of the time were counterculture. The punk and alternative scenes in dystopian fiction like Blade Runner there. Irony became very strong as a coping mechanism, because irony distances yourself from earnestness. Earnestness might make you seem naive. In the 90s, there was a backlash to this, though. There's a lot of variety in the cultural and aesthetic values of the 90s, as you can see here with just the aesthetic differences. I think my favorite being mall deco and festive marketplace. Rainforest chic was also one I liked. I think Xenex and Fraser Bane and Neon Brutalism get all the attention, but I like Marketplace. I like the old mall feel. But overall, there was a youthful sense of the 90s. A sense of Nirvana, so to speak. But even in bands like Nirvana, even in the music of Nirvana, there was genuine angst. The emotions being conveyed and expressed were very real. Even if it wasn't, nice and fun and colorful, it was still real. It still felt authentic. And this, probably not coincidentally, coincided with an economic upturn. New technologies were giving rise to a new hopefulness. There was a greater interconnectedness. There was hope about the internet. So the 2000s moves us into a kind of vulnerable and hopeful place. At least in the early 2000s, there was a new connectedness. People were eager to reach out and connect and to become a part of things. We'd had these new avenues opened up for expression. There were a lot more ways to channel our feelings and to be heard. And even though the economy had started to slip back downward, even though there were these increase in global tensions, people still had this hopefulness. However, since the early 2010s, there's been a trend towards irony. It's a trend towards seeing and having sarcasm as a personality. To cope.
Welcome. You've got mail.
Oh my goodness. Nova and Pulse just gave out 10 community subs. Oh my god, thank you all so much. Thank you for the gold stars. Thank you, Nova. What's never cringe is supporting the teacher. That's right. Let's return to the 90s and the new sincerity. Holy jeez.
You've got mail.
You've got mail. Congratulations to all of the gift recipients. Enjoy your honor roll privileges.
You've got mail.
Really appreciate it, Nova and Pulse. Make sure that you're all following our friend Nova and Pulse. Check them out.
Welcome. You've
Sincerity
got
is how
mail.
you try to live. That's right. We cannot be not earnest. We have to be our authentic selves.
Welcome. You've got mail.
Absolutely. Yeah, we need to push back against that trend
Welcome.
towards irony
You've got
and sarcasm. We may feel like it insulates us from being judged ourselves, but it's a coping mechanism for the
Welcome.
cynicism
You've got
around
mail.
us. It does pay off in the long run.
You've got
Yippee! Yay! Wow.
Welcome. You've got mail.
Yeah, we'll have some excellent commentary later about the long-term benefit. I'm so happy that you were here and did that, Nova. Honestly, I think that's the biggest gift we've had. Because we are small and authentic. Small but mighty. As you can see in some of these statistics here, and I'll move myself out of the way because since that time period, people's optimism about self and family and nation are a lot different than they used to be. Before the 2010s, towards the turn of the millennium, 81% of people believed that we would find the cure for cancer within the next decade. 76% of people believed that we would put human beings on Mars. Over 80% of people felt optimistic about themselves and their families at the turn of the millennium. I don't think if you ran this poll again, you would find quite the same results. A lot of that optimism does feel like it faded away. So it's not overly surprising that we find ourselves in an era of cynicism and irony and sarcasm. You remember double rainbow all the way across the sky? You remember that viral video? Social media, as it has grown since the 2010s, it had initially been something that had helped people be sincere and more earnest, but it became performative. A way for you to get attention not for who you genuinely were, but attention for its own sake. Internet irony spouted and grew into a force, and meme culture started to become about mockery. Even media that ostensibly featured earnest characters and situations began to do so through a sort of winking self-awareness, meta-irony. And so we see a video like this guy seeing a double rainbow, a beautiful double rainbow out on a hike, out in nature. And he posts this video, probably not expecting many people to see it. But his sense of wonder over this got brutally mocked and widely shared as a sense of cringe. Look at this guy getting so excited over a rainbow. I think Nova's right in that younger generation is latching on to whimsy. I hope that their trend continues. Because the other side of that coin in the Gen Z is that we get things like looks maxers. We've gotten a backlash, a mini backlash already to the attempts to be sincere. And we see things that are sincere in, adult cartoons, so to speak, or are earnest or are very raw, and people there's backlash against it. Now, obviously, the economic realities of things have not made this any easier. Since exactly that time, the late 2000s to the present, economic problems have made things difficult. There's a housing crisis. There's social instability. There's a lot of cynicism in politics. And obviously, we cannot talk about this without talking about the pandemic. Social isolation increased dramatically. everyone was forced online. A lot of people who were not used to online. They found out very quickly that being authentic and open on the internet could be risky. Virtual environments magnified people's vulnerabilities and judgments. We became so reliant on digital interactions that sincere expressions felt too exposed. And there's inshitification. We've been forced into an attention economy. All of our social platforms have started to transition from community-oriented spaces to algorithm-driven engagement machines. Genuine connection turned into competition for attention. It turned community into nothing more than content. Outrage, argument, sensationalism, negativity. Platforms have prioritized divisive and attention-grabbing content because it's profitable for them. So communities have steeped themselves in irony and cynicism as a coping strategy against being seen as emotionally vulnerable. The current generations from millennials on down have grown a skin of irony and cynicism to try and protect themselves. Because the loop goes that sincerity creates vulnerability. Vulnerability opens us up to judgment, but irony protects us from ridicule, clipping, dunking, reaction. Platforms reward ridicule, clipping, dunking, reaction. Eventually, everyone becomes afraid of being mocked, but also everyone is tempted to be the one to mock first. We get tempted to throw the stone first, keep the attention off of ourselves, forgetting that once you're done helping the wolves eat, you will be lunch next. And so the cycle continues. We cope with irony. We act detached. We don't want to be seen as being too sincere or interested in things. We want to be seen as cool and aloof. And of course, being cynical and edgy is rewarded. So why not? Eventually, though, it just leaves us with isolation. However, people are starting to get tired of that. We're getting fatigued of cynicism. And perhaps there's a new sincerity on the horizon. But where does it start? Does it start with us? I hope so. Because cringe changes us. It restricts our expression. How do you think it does that? It reduces the choices that we feel are available to us. It can increase anxiety. Obviously, it can impair connections with other people. And naturally, it self-replicates. We risk becoming part of the cringe machine. A newer New Hope. That's right, Ponima. What about you? Nova said you're still struggling to work on your fear of being mocked. Conscious effort to not be the one to mock. So tell me, class, what is cringe holding you back from? I think of that image. It's gone around for a long time now. I don't even know the origin, but it's of a bird in a cage, but there's only 2 bars on the cage. The rest of the cage is completely open and that could fly away at any time. But it still holds on to those 2 bars as if it's locked in. What does this fear prevent people from doing? And what is it preventing you from doing? For Nova, it holds you back from opening up yourself more to your audience. Yes. Anyway, you say you're quite scared of making friends, constantly judged. To this day, feel weird. Don't think you're alone. Of course, I can't ask you to do something that I wouldn't be willing to do myself, so I'm certainly working on my cringe at putting myself out there as a streamer. I've only applied to 2 groups before in the 2.5 years I've streamed because I'm worried about the rejection. I'm sensitive to it, and of course, the 2 groups I applied to, I did get rejected from. So that didn't help. But a lot of people apply to a lot of groups before they find one. I struggle with putting myself out there and looking for collaborations. Because, you know, would people like me? I don't sing, I don't dance, I don't draw. I teach. And that's not the most common thing. Yeah, that's right, Nova. It can be very easy for the wrong thing to break containment. Yeah, Bonnie, you want to put a lower burden on yourself because there's already enough burdens out there, isn't there? So how do we deal? How do we deal with this problem? Well, we're going to approach it with a couple different techniques. The first is to recognize that that devil on your shoulder often isn't even there. There's something called the spotlight effect. The research about this shows that people notice far less than you think. They notice less than you think, they remember less than you fear, and they judge you a lot less coherently than your anxiety might predict. Basically, we overestimate if and how much people are judging us at all. We think it's like this when we're out in public. But it's like this. We think we're like the image on the right, off in our own world, and everyone else is a part of the crowd. Without realizing, no, it's more like the one on the left, we're all part of the crowd. What this study specifically did was it had subjects wear what they considered to be an embarrassing t-shirt. Something like this. And then they had them go through a crowd of people. Subjects, after doing this, thought that at least 50% of people they noticed their shirt. Only 25% of people even noticed the embarrassing shirt. Then they had people wear a neutral shirt, something that didn't really seem embarrassing at all. Subjects still estimated that about 45% of people noticed them and their shirt. Less than 10% actually did. They then had subjects have a discussion group. All of the subjects, no matter how much or little they talked, felt that they were more noticed, for better or worse, than they actually were. Because we think people are noticing us. However, this is what someone's actual thought process is like. They're not looking at you and thinking about you very often. They're thinking, oh no, Mom said she's sick again. My bus is late. What am I going to make for dinner? The rent's due next week. Oh great, there's another war. Oh God, I really need to pee. Will John Moxley beat Hangman Adam Page? Will the Silksong DLC be released soon? Does my crush think I'm ugly? They're singing the stupid jingles in their head that they can't get out. And they're all thinking, everyone's looking at me. Trust me, the people you think are looking at you are wondering if everyone's looking at them. But even if the devil on your shoulder is there, why listen to the devil? First off, ask yourself if the people you think might be judging you even have an opinion that matters. Does their opinion matter to you? Do you respect them? Are the people who might judge you harshly or think that what you're doing is cringy or embarrassing? Do you actually respect those people? Do they respect you, or would they ever? Or would they judge you no matter what? Also ask yourself if their opinion matters to anyone else. Or are they just a real POS that nobody likes? Are they an internet troll that, I agree, Emma, some people do just like eating random people. Those kind of people, nobody really likes. Will that person's judgment, if they are a decent person and you respect them and they respect you, will others' opinions actually impact you? Will it have an effect on you personally, socially, academically, in your career? We do still need to address the social problem of there being so many people that like to prey on others, to tear them down, to eat them, and the fact that there's an audience for that now. The fact that there's a whole cottage industry of people who go around prodding people or filming them, trying to embarrass them, trying to farm humiliation. And we can't just do that with a gun. But it is important to, yes, put that into perspective. Are these people whose opinions matter? Yeah. I see that sometimes, Emma, in articles where someone will post something a bit outlandish on Tumblr, and now all of a sudden it's a news story. Oh, this person wants to take away everyone's gender. Yeah, and then of course there's people who engage in gang stalking or try to make lol calls out of everyone. We really need to do something socially about that, as in at the society-wide level. But yes, Twitter drama is not news. Unfortunately, Twitter can break into a person's real life now. Part of this does go back to our last lesson on self-talk, on whether those thoughts are really yours. Do the opinions of the people who have been judging you match up with your own? Do you think what you're doing is cringe or embarrassing, or should be considered cringe or embarrassing? Would you judge someone else for doing the same thing that you're doing? One thing I do like pointing out, though, is that some of the people who notice will like what they see. Some of them will wish that they were doing the same. Some of them will wish that they could have been as brave as you are. Because we have to ask ourselves the cost of letting cringe control our choices, to limit our sentiments. Because fear of missing out can be something that is real. You can miss out on things. You can miss out on experiences like going to that convention. You can miss connections with people who might share that common interest. You might not be as willing to make deep connections with people, or to express yourself creatively, to share your art. Concerning yourself so much with what other people think increases anxiety. And as we've learned, can leave us more isolated. And as we said at the top, yes, cringe can be a useful thing in that it can help us recognize when we're crossing a boundary or when something is genuinely socially unsafe. But we want to be mindful of when it's just hindering us. So we'll approach it in a similar way to what we did with self-talk. Identifying, challenging it, and putting it into perspective. Identify that prison guard in your head. When you start to feel that embarrassment, ask yourself, is this something that I do need to be embarrassed about? If you just let it slide, it's going to keep happening. Because it relies on stealth. You might catch it and realize, yep, that is actually something I shouldn't be doing. That is embarrassing. But catch it first. And identify how'd that thought automatically sneak in. Why did I immediately think that this was embarrassing? Yeah, we don't need, you know what? We don't need to know everyone's every thought. That's right, Nova. We were not meant to know this many people existed, let alone their thoughts, is one of my favorite Twitter posts of all time. We need to go back to an era where we were just in our own forums. Not everything had to be posted everywhere. And then challenge that automatic thought, that automatic concern over embarrassment. Is it true? Is there evidence that what you're doing is worth being embarrassed about? Or is it helping you? Is it helping you to keep from doing something that's socially unacceptable? Make sure that it's put into a proper context. Is it even a big deal? Would someone else be proud of you for expressing yourself, to be yourself? Would your future self be proud of you? And yes, we do want to make sure that we are differentiating between when cringe is useful and when it's lying. Cringe can serve a purpose. Because it lets you know if you've hurt someone on accident or crossed a line or ignored context. If it is something that is actually socially unsafe. Make sure that it's not just some other issue like guilt or shame. They're different concepts. But cringe can lie to you and tell you that everyone saw you do this. Or everyone hated that. Or being this way, doing this thing makes you pathetic. That it's not safe to even just be sincere. Cringe can be a liar sometimes. We are going to continue with our lesson, but it's been about an hour, and you know what we have to do. We have to get up and move around. Just like we were talking about earlier today in Rita's stream. We're going to take our 180-second break, just 3 minutes, to get up, move around, get some water, use the restroom, wash our hands, and we'll come back and talk about the rest of this important issue, and I'll sing at least one song. So I will see you on the other side of 3 minutes. I do murder. I have killed. I will kill again. I already have the Musketeer's gloves. I have like 8 of them. Stop buying me gloves for Christmas, Grandma. I want Cocker's Bad Fur Day. I heard there's a nude mode.
I'm not just a pretty face, you know.
You aren't even a pretty face. Got her. So many labs and universities and researchers worldwide would have to be colluding for a long time to suppress this. It just doesn't seem feasible. And to what end? Because they, I guess, want more people to have autism? That takes us back to our first slide on these conspiracies. To what end? Who benefits? Model railroad manufacturers? a manifestation of Nico Nico Ni. I should not ever do that. Hardcore! Excuse me, what? I feel like I just got hit in the face. A skibba-danger? How old is this game? Is this before Skibbity Toilet? I can't. Hold up. Wait.
You got anything, Joker?
Witch. Queen? I don't know. I don't know if I like calling her queen. Yes, queen. I should not ever say that again. I should never do that again. I think we all agree. Someone did have to do it. She did have to die. It is crazy how many people we have to kill, isn't it? It's crazy how many people we have to kill in order for good things to happen.
Look, the roots are coming up through the ground.
That's what roots tend to do, Ting Yun.
Work to do.
That's typically what roots do. They come up through the ground. Is everyone around me a moron? Yeah, that's Kafka. She turned herself into a bug or something. I don't know.
Precisely.
Yeah, it was some kind of anamorph-like thing. She turned herself into a roach. It's a long story. I haven't read it in a long time.
If the IPC has any reservations.
Oh, I don't care if the IPC has any reservations. The IPC can IP CD's nuts. Oh, that's Welcome back, class. Thanks for sticking around through the break. Yeah, so one of the other things that we need to do if we want to get over our sense of cringe and embarrassment, that we should acclimate slowly. You don't need to just jump in to the things that you're looking to do. You can just start slowly. You can speak up a little bit more. As an example, add a little bit more personality to your dress if that's something that you're looking to be. Express yourself more that way. Make use of mindfulness. If you feel embarrassed, take the time to observe and reflect on that feeling. Breathe and let it pass. You don't have to change your behavior at that moment and stop caring about the embarrassment immediately. It's okay that it still happens. It's not going to be perfect. But acclimate and reflect. And yes, of course, Empress, it's okay to like things that other people don't like. I like Natasha, and, apparently she's not the most popular character in the world, because they don't give her a buff ever. But also clearly identify the things that you can and cannot do. What you can do within your own circles of friends is to cultivate acceptance and to treasure their authenticity. Because you can curate your circle. Yes, as Emma says, see what the other monkeys do. If they eat the red berries, and then those red berries come back in a potentially painful way, you know that you don't want to eat the red berries. It's okay to take time and reflect. The monkey was doing a cool new dance and you thought that was great. And then you realized, oh, that dance really makes the tigers come. They really enjoy that dance. And then they eat the monkey. And then you realize, hey, that's the tiger attracting dance. And then the leopards eat the face. Yeah, I should have said leopards in the first place. That would have been a much tighter statement. But yeah, value these things in your friends group. Allow your friends group to be vulnerable with you. Make sure that's a mutual relationship both ways, where you help each other to be each other. Talk about this topic when it comes up. when someone talks about feeling embarrassed. The fact that we just don't talk about things with each other is a huge part of the problem. Normalize the imperfections within yourself and your friends group. It's okay to share ideas and creativity. And if you're not ready to share that with the whole world, that's fine too. In fact, it can be better if you start sharing it slowly with just people you know and trust within those friends groups. The ugly fruit, which was my nickname in high school. Oh God, I'm deeply troubled. But, the ugly fruit that they sell at the grocery store that's cheaper, it can be just as good. In fact, sharing it when it's imperfect is especially important. And you know what? When you do mess up, it's okay to laugh with yourself. And celebrate that courage. Praise and reward the acts of sincerity in your community when people overcome embarrassment. When you overcome embarrassment. Activate their brain's reward system. Activate yours. Because I want to make it clear that a lot of cringe culture is about punching down. What are some of the things that are most attacked in this way? It's communication that is commonly associated with people who are autistic. It's fandom enthusiasm. It's punching down at people's amateur creativity. It's making fun of poverty-coded fashion, people who don't have the money to afford new things, outdated technology. A lot of cringe bashing culture is about queer and gender nonconforming expression. It's about mocking people with disabilities, body and speech differences, their social anxiety, and generational differences. So even if we can't change other people's behavior towards cringe, even if we know that people will still be socially unsafe for some of their expression, we can check ourselves and not be a part of that. We can make sure that we're not contributing. And we can make sure that we're calling it out if we can. The R word is making an unfortunate comeback. And people are just letting it slide. You don't have to. We can't stop people from doing it. We can absolutely say that that's not okay around ourselves. When it comes to your own personal goals and aspirations and the things you feel like cringe is holding you back with, I want to give ourselves a few quotes. Some of my favorite sayings that relate to this. Because in the end, you are damned if you do and damned if you don't. Because you'll judge yourself later for what you didn't do. Soren Kierkegaard has some amazing quotes, some real bangers. One of my favorites from him is, "I see it all perfectly. There are two possible situations. One can either do this or that. My honest opinion and my friendly advice is this. Do it or do not do it. You will regret both." I just think he was a really weird guy, and I think that, his quotes are great. He's the one, the Kieras with the boof. Boof or do not boof. You will regret both. But I think the one that's maybe most relevant to a lot of us in fandom is the C.S. Lewis quote. You might know the one I'm going to talk about. You might know this one if you've been in fandoms that have considered cringe. But while I'm going through these quotes, feel free to think of any questions that you have. But the C.S. Lewis quote, C.S. Lewis being the author of the Chronicles of Narnia and the Screwtape Letters, among others, is this saying. Critics who treat adult as a term of approval instead of as a merely descriptive term cannot be adult themselves. To be concerned about being grown up, to admire the grown up because it is grown up, to blush at the suspicion of being childish, these things are the marks of childhood and adolescence. And in childhood and adolescence they are, in moderation, healthy symptoms. Young things ought to want to grow. But to carry on into middle life or even into early manhood, this concern about being adult is a mark of really arrested development. When I was 10, I read fairy tales in secret and would have been ashamed if I had been found doing so. Now that I am 50, I read them openly. When I became a man, I put away childish things, including the fear of childishness and the desire to be very grown up. So it is, in fact, a mark of maturity to know that it's okay. The things you enjoy are the things you enjoy if they don't hurt other people. And C.S. Lewis, of course, wrote one of the most well-known fairy tales in modern literature. Now, I can't play this song because I will get demonetized from my minimal amount of monetization, but it's a great song and one that I will link to you here once I have it. It is by a band called The Midnight that I absolutely adore. One of my favorite concerts of all time that I've ever been to. Sort of a throwback late 80s, early 90s synthwave, new sincerity type of thing. A lot of synths and saxophones. But it is called Good in Red. And there's a lyric where it says, "Kill your demons, kill 'em dead. In your mirror, in your bed, in your heart, in your head. Don't you look good in red? Slay your devils, kill 'em all. Take your throne, paint the walls. And if you make it out alive, hold that bloody head up high. Kill the demons." The things that you see in the mirror. The things in your head. Yes. Then there's the great song by We Came as Romans called Cast the First Stone. We often throw the first stone to take the attention away from ourselves, to protect our own reputations, to make other people the target. Some of you know who this guy is, David Foster Wallace. We've got one more after this, so bear with me, but while you're thinking of any last questions, I'll read this one. The next real literary rebels in this country might well emerge as some weird bunch of anti-rebels. Born oglers who dare to back away from ironic watching, who have the childish gall to actually endorse single entendre values, who treat old, untrendy human troubles and emotions in U.S. life with reverence and conviction, who eschew self-consciousness and fatigue. These anti-rebels would be outdated, of course, before they even started. Too sincere, clearly repressed, backward, quaint, naive, anachronistic. Maybe that'll be the point. Why they'll be the next real rebels. Real rebels, as far as I can see, risk things. Risk disapproval. The old postmodern insurgents risked the gasp and squeal. Shock, disgust, outrage, censorship, accusations of socialism, anarchism, nihilism. The new rebels might be the ones willing to risk the yawn, the rolled eyes, the cool smile, the nudged ribs, the parody of gifted ironists, the how banal. Accusations of sentimentality, melodrama, credulity, willingness to be suckered by a world of lurkers and starers who fear gaze and ridicule above imprisonment without law. There's a lot to unpack in that one. Alex, you ask, what do you do when you've broken your schedule from your fun activities and good sleep and feel bad about yourself? Well, the feeling bad about yourself does serve a purpose in a healthy, short-term way. It feels bad because you knew that the thing that you were supposed to do, that you wanted to do, was good. So we shouldn't try to not feel bad. We should try to only feel bad for a little while. It's like, when I fail a test, I feel bad because, I failed. It's okay to feel bad briefly. It's like when we feel guilty about doing something bad, it's supposed to hurt a little bit. We're supposed to take it as the impetus, the motivation to try again, and to try it again and again until we get it right. If you feel bad because you broke your schedule, it's because you want to do it right. It's okay to feel bad in the moment. So if you're feeling bad right now, stop and let yourself feel that, and then let it go. It served its purpose. It reminded you, you know what? I really wanted to do it. I really wanted to keep that schedule. And I don't want to feel like this again next time, so I'll make sure to keep it next time. But I think DFW here has a couple of good points. One of them is, yeah, you might have to take the risk of people who are too cool for school judging you, or thinking that what you're doing is childish or banal, or you're too sentimental. But I mean, what I'm doing right here would be considered pretty melodramatic, being a VTuber character at my adult age, teaching health classes. Isn't VTubing a thing for, 22-year-old girls? No, it's for anyone who wants to. But I will leave us with one final quote. That comes from Economic and Philosophic Manuscripts in 1844. It says, "The less you eat, drink, and read books, the less you go to the theater, the dance hall, the public house, the less you think, love, theorize, sing, paint, fence, etc., the more you save. The less you are, the more you have. The less you express your own life, the greater is your alienated life. The greater is the store of your estranged being." By not doing all those things you might save, either money or yourself from potential embarrassment, but the more you've alienated yourself from others and yourself. So what are we saving ourselves for? I hope it's worth it. And no, I'm not a 22-year-old girl. I've only been one of those things once. I won't tell you which. As Emma suggests, maybe consider repressing parts of yourself. If that part of yourself being exposed to the public might destroy you, then safety is your number one priority. Yes, we do want to make sure that we are safe. And if possible, find places where you are safe. Communities where you can be yourself safely. And work towards a world in which you won't be destroyed. Well, if you enjoyed the lesson, I hope you got something out of it. Yeah, in a pinch, just destroy the society first. We're living in a society. Now, I did say I would sing at least one song. Oh, a young quote from Ponima: "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." That's probably the positive version of the Dostoevsky quote, of the one that's like, the worst thing is that you have destroyed yourself for nothing. Yeah, that's a better one. I like that one better. I like the young quote better. That's a more positive framing. So I will go ahead and sing one brief song. And that's going to be the ending theme song from Cowboy Bebop, The Real Folk Blues. Young is a bit more chill. But yeah, I will sing. I have to. I told you I would. Get those light sticks ready. It's only going to be like 90 seconds. Because it's a TV theme. First, I'll just let this play for a sec so that we can see if the volume is working. It seems to be okay. Let me make sure that the timing's okay. Okay, yeah, that looks to be about right. Okay, everything seems to be fine. Let me copy the lyrics over so that I don't just have to read them on the screen. Get those light sticks ready for your elation character. Oh man, I mean, I like pink and yellow. All right. Me. Bear in mind, I mean, if you came here from Rita, from her community, I'm not a singer. I don't really sing very well, but I want to emphasize that I like to sing sometimes, and you should sing if you feel like singing. That's one of those cringe/embarrassing things that we can get over. Because I don't think society will destroy me for this. I could be wrong.愛してたと嘆くにはあまりにも時は過ぎてしまったまだ心のほころびを癒せぬまま風が吹いてる乾いた瞳で誰か泣いてくれ The real folk blues 本当の悲しみが知りたいだけ泥の川に浸かった人生も悪くはない一度きりで終わるならAnd that is the Real Folk Blues, the TV version. I do not speak Japanese. I just was obsessed with that song and that show when I was a kid, so I memorized the Japanese lyrics. Yeah. And there are so many great songs off of that soundtrack. Thank you all so much. Yes, the stars and the hearts, I appreciate it. Heart stars and horseshoes. It's okay. Certain songs that are within my range, Pawnima, I think I can handle. It's just not everything fits for my voice. Like when I've sung, what's his name? The oldies guy that I sing sometimes. That works. Sort of a mid-range, mid-lower range. I mean, when I did that cover of Bad Apple, that was awful. That was not within my range. That was not within my range at all. Oh, Billy Joel. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, Billy Joel. Billy Joel worked. It was okay. I think I wouldn't mind doing some more karaoke and singing stuff. I'll just need to find the right songs that will be fun and enjoyable for everybody. Hey, Ren. Well, I hope you got something out of this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are able to apply some of that in your life. And if you did not get a chance to watch Rita's stream in my segment, sure that VOD will be available on Rita's channel, whether it be at YouTube or Twitch. Excellent lesson we had there, and topic about physical activity as an augment to mental health support. Yes, yes. Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun, Ponima. Empress, you'd like to learn Japanese in case you go to Japan? I mean, that's a lot of fun. 2 lessons, yeah, I did 2 lessons today now. Yeah. Should I check my Star Rail since you're all here? I would play some Persona 5, but then I'll get stuck playing it, and I won't eat dinner. I'll stay up too late. Should I check the banner? I mean, I already have Blade. Build Blade? I can show you my Blade. I'll show you Blade. This is my Crystal Blade. There we go. There we go. Majestically through the sky, but I can walk. They can walk. Other Pokemon can shout and shoot lasers from their mouth, but I can walk. They can walk. Oh, I have to turn the volume up on Star Rail because sometimes I play it muted so I can watch a video in the other screen because I don't take my own advice about single tasking. Okay. Chop chop. Your blade build is so chopped right now? So chipped? Alright, so let's see where we're at. Remember, class, things need to be chopped and cooked before they're served and ate. I still need to finish out this quest mission, though. Oh, here's my tower. I have my 3 Sundays by Sunday. And of course, 3 Robins for the 3 Sundays. And 3 Hyacinas because we left them to. Mommy Himiko's at the top, obviously. And then Castorus and Cyrena. Silverwolf. Love them. God, that's Kafka. I don't want any Kafkas. Get out of here. You're not my real mom. Himiko's my real mom. There she is. There's Mommy. Hi, Himamko.
Oh, back so soon?
Oh, hey, what the heck is Hook doing here? You can't be up here by yourself. You're a child. Pitch Dark Hook the Black.
Oh, well, if it isn't our honorary member. Pitch Dark Hook the Great is about to host a hide-and-seek contest. You want to come?
Yeah, you can go ahead and hide. Sure thing.
We've got 2 contestants. I asked the others if they were interested. Pom Pom was too busy, but
Oh, Pom Pom is always too busy.
The contest on the Express, as long as I don't use the engine room.
Yeah, don't let Hook into the engine room.
Terrible at hide and seek. Well, looked excited, but then he said it was a shame he couldn't do it and never explained why.
What the heck is wrong with you, Welt? Play hide and seek with the child.
Hope needs to find more people.
Pom Pom, get your ass over here and play hide and seek with the kid. Yeah, that's the kid with the giant hook on her arm. The giant mecha hook. She got on my nerves at first, but she's grown on me a lot. Alright, so let's check out Blade. Let's check out our amazing Trailblazer here. Looking so done with everything, as always. Take our free stuff. Things are looking pretty great for our Remembrance team. But there's our Blade. We'll need to do a little bit more. 4,400 HP, 1,500 attack, 1,100 defense, 128 speed. Crit rate's only 26%, damage 116. I don't have their light cone yet, but I've been told it's not totally necessary. Got most of their traces up. Yeah, relics have been a challenge. Could be better. Should use the Silver Wolf one from the Herta shop. I think I can get that one too. I think I have the stuff I need. That looks pretty decent. Looks pretty good. They're okay. Could be better. Computer, enhance. I don't have enough. I guess I could just go whaling. I'm just trying to finally beat the or get to Anomaly Arbitration. 3 stars away on Forgotten Hall, 1 last star on Pure Fiction, and well, I'm not even trying these yet. She scares me. And I also just don't like Herta very much. I don't like her. I know everybody loves Herta. And I always end up beefing with everyone's favorite characters. But I mean, I prefer good people, like Serval and Herta. I mean, Natasha. Himiko. Alright, you little brat. What do you got for me? Test my simulated universe. No, Herta. Oh, this one? Before the tutorial mission starts? I do have one. Have I just never leveled it up? Okay. I guess I can do that. Thank you so much, Nova Impulse. That was very generous of you and really appreciate that. Blade. Wait, really? I don't see it. It says I have it. Where the heck is it? It says I have a copy of this somewhere. Someone using it? Oh, that's just a available or not. I'm very dumb. My brain is horts right now. There. Available is one, not owned one. Okay, there we go. Well, I could get Pom Pom's little outfit. Little twisty bubblegum. Okay. Sure. Fruit by the foot. Computer, enhance. How much can I actually level it up, though? Yeah, I didn't like Silverwolf at first either. She's also grown on me. Like a tumor. Just quick farm. Give it to me. There we go. Okay, we were able to get it up pretty good. All right, so that looks pretty good. Effect hit rate by 40%. Nice, nice.
Deja vu.
Memer, memer. Mem. Hit Herta. Nope, don't do that. So what's the team comp for Blade? What do I put Blade in, or who do I put Blade in with? I want 6k HP. Okay, well, got a way to go there. 80% crit. We're not close to yet. I think we can get close, maybe. I don't know. Blade is everything Acheron Blade. Okay. He's an everything man. Yeah, he seems like it. Seems like he goes with anybody. You know what I mean? I do have 50 pulls. I already have Yao Guang. Don't need his light cone, don't need hers. I want this little cat, but I also want the Furball goggles, even though they do nothing. Oh, I could get one of these too. I mean, no, I can't. I need 4 of these. What the heck? All right, all right, all right. Yeah, because I'm just having trouble getting this last star. Pure Fiction. These last 3 stars here. Just takes so long to do, too. Anyway, it's going pretty good with the pulls, though. I've gotten everybody I've wanted to get so far. I did get Tribby as well earlier, which is nice. And I don't like I like having this ring around my head, but I don't know. It doesn't go as well with my raccoon mask. I prefer having the raccoon mask. That's more me, you know? But I do still need to complete this mission.
It's still early. Where to now?
But I think we'll leave that for next time. Membership only dental care. Dang, they don't even have free healthcare in this planet? That sucks. This place does seem like kind of a mess just underneath the surface. Not a place I would want to live.
This is it.
It feels like Gotham City. Feels like at any moment you could just be killed by the Riddler. It's like Disney World / Gotham. All right, we're gonna take our field trip. We're gonna head out. That's what we're gonna do. I want to thank you all so much for coming for our lesson and for supporting the physical activity and mental health segment that I did for Rita Kamashiro. Hope you'll check out that VOD if you didn't get a chance to see it. Next time we stream here will be Tuesday. I'll be jumping into that Gunnar Gamer Girl's palace, I think. Whatever her name was. Sojiro's kid. You know what I mean. So we'll head out on our field trip. Let's see where we should go. Futaba. There she is. That's her name. Let's see. Where should we take our field trip to? I'll just drop one to this random person, I guess. Because it's their streamiversary. And they're playing Aviary Attorney, and that seems fun. Anyway, let's head out. I will take my leave. I will get some good sleep, and I hope that you do too. Appreciate you being here. That's all I have for you, though. Be well, get some rest, get some sleep. Class dismissed.